Here's some breaking news. Just in case you don't know, the pandemic is not over, people. The Omicron takeover is real. The highly contagious COVID variant, now detected in all 50 states, is fueling a coast-to-coast surge in new cases, hospitals pushed to the brink, mask mandates are back, but help is on the way, it appears, as the FDA greenlights Pfizer's new COVID pill. But how will it work? Here to discuss it more is Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. I think we know who he is by now. Welcome back to Start Your Day. Always good to see you, Dr. Fauci. Wish we were talking to you under better circumstances.
Yes.
A good news. But let's start with the big news here. FDA authorizing this new Pfizer COVID pill for emergency use. How big of a game changer is this?
Well, it's really an extraordinarily effective medication. A very good clinical study showed that if you give this, which is a pill that you take over a period of a few days, within 3 days of the onset of symptoms, it diminishes the likelihood that you're going to require hospitalization by about 90%, which is really quite extraordinary. So the issue now is that the FDA has authorized it in an emergency use authorization. The trick now over the next several weeks to months is to get enough of these to make them widely available for those who need it. So it's something where you have a great product with regard to its efficacy, but we really have to ramp up production so that the people who need it over the next months will be able to have access to it.
Dr. Fauci, here's the thing. Hopefully we won't need it, because if people were to get vaccinated and get boosted, then maybe we wouldn't actually need it. So here's my point. The other side of this is, I believe there might be a danger in people thinking that, okay, this is something that's safe for me. I don't need to get the vaccine because if I get corona or COVID, then I can just take this pill.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Mike. And that's one of the things we're afraid of. It is always, always better not to get infected than it is to get infected and rely on some treatment to prevent you from getting seriously ill. So you're absolutely right. The thing we need to do is to continue the emphasis on needing to get vaccinated if you're unvaccinated, and definitely to get boosted if you have been vaccinated. Booster shots are really now becoming a critical part of protecting us, because we find, particularly with the Omicron variant, that even a very good and effective 2-dose mRNA vaccine, which would give you really good protection, that protection wanes. And when you get to be confronted by Omicron, the protection goes rather low, in the sense of you still get some protection, but not optimal. But when you get boosted, it brings back up that level of protection to a very good, safe level. So that's the reason why we're pleased that those who've been vaccinated are vaccinated, but we encourage them that they get the extra amount of optimum protection when they get their boosters. So that's what we should be telling people. Get vaccinated in the first place. And after you've been vaccinated, when your time comes for a booster, please go and get that booster shot.
Dr. Fauci, Omicron is now in every state. Symptoms are milder, but hospitals right now are overwhelmed. What are the long-term effects of this variant?
You know, in general, we don't know, but one thing that we do know, that not only with this variant, but with all the variants that we've been dealing with, there is a syndrome called long COVID, which means that anywhere from 10 to maybe as high as 30 or more % of people, once they recover from the acute phase of infection, very often they get lingering of signs and symptoms that are generally characterized by extreme fatigue, particularly after doing work like exercise or activity, sleep disturbances, muscle aches, fast heartbeat that's unexplained. It's very puzzling because there's no real pathogenic reason for that we can identify now. It's a real syndrome. It's not made up. It's not in your mind. It's something that people experience. So even though people recover a certain proportion do get this long COVID. So we've got to make sure that we find out, and we're putting a lot of effort into it. What is the underlying basis of this? Is there anything that we can do about it?
Do we know at this point how long COVID lasts?
We don't, because we have some people, the majority after a period of several weeks to a few months, revert back to normal, thank goodness. But there are still people who have this lingering degree of not feeling the way they felt before the infection. And we don't know how long that's going to last, because we still, relatively speaking, have only been involved with this for a little bit less than 2 years in the United States. So we have to use the long-term experience to give us greater insight into how long this lasts.
Dr. Fauci, you're a very smart man. Obviously, I listen to you. The world should be listening to you. Past presidents who are smart listen to you. But there are so many messages out there when it comes to COVID-19. And of course, this is the holiday seasons. People are traveling, people are gathering, wanting to be with their nanas, be with their big mamas, as we say in the black community. President Biden says if you're vaxxed, if you're boosted, it's business as usual. There are other organizations such as WHO says, hey, don't gather in large crowds, whatnot. So you understand the mixed messages that are out there that might be confusing. Who should we listen to?
Okay, so Mike, let me try to bring some clarity to it for your listeners and viewers, because it's important. When you're dealing with a family situation, so let's say you are vaccinated and boosted, your family, your parents, your children, everyone is vaccinated and boosted. If you are in the home setting of a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day dinner and social gathering, that is safe. Nothing is ever 100% risk free, but that is something that you should feel comfortable in enjoying. You want to go the extra step to be sure. You can get tested the day of or the day before the gathering. That is very, very different from having a large 30, 40, 50 person big party where you don't know what the vaccine status of people are. That's what I believe the WHO is referring to. They're not referring to, for example, me. I'm home. I have 3 daughters who've come from all parts of the country, young adult women. We're there with myself, my wife, my children, their partners. Everyone is vaccinated and boosted. So I feel comfortable having a Christmas Eve, Christmas dinner with them in my home. What I would absolutely not do if I got invited to a big Christmas party of 30 or 40 people and I did not know the vaccine status of those people, there's no way I would go to that kind of gathering, given what we're going on right now with Omicron. So that's the thing that people need to understand, the difference with the intimate family gathering of vaccinated and boosted people and a big party of people that you don't know what their vaccine status is. There's a big difference there.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. But break this down for me as well. I'm just going to be totally honest, transparent. I'm having a gathering on Saturday, about 10 people, and I'm making sure that everybody is fully vaccinated that comes to the party, and I want them to get tested. Here's the problem. Testing is a big issue right now because of Omicron. These lines are long. It's hard for people to get testing. The at-home kits are being sold out in drugstores. We want to live our lives. We want to be around our family members, but we still want to be safe. How can we do that if we don't know our status, if we can't get these tests, even if we're vaccinated?
You know, Mike, you bring up a very good point, and I don't have an easy answer for you. Right now, today, even though, as we heard from the president, a major, major effort is underway now to get, hundreds of millions of tests very soon to us. Today, it is correct, and you have to admit it, that in certain places, it is very difficult to get a test. So the test is the added layer of safety superimposed upon vaccination and booster. If you can't get a test and you're vaccinated and boost, even though you don't have that extra special safety net of having a negative test, the risk is still relatively low. In fact, very, very low if you have a family setting that you are talking about, as you mentioned a moment ago. It would be nice to get tested, but I would not call off that intimate family dinner when you know everyone is vaccinated and boosted because you can't get a test. It would be great if there was a test available, but that just diminishes the risk a bit more. But the risk is still very, very low. But you're right, we've got to do better. And we will, no doubt, as we get into January, there will be many, many, many more tests. The goal is to get everybody and anybody who wants a test anytime they want it. And that's what the president's plan will get us as we get into January.
Right now, about 73% of Americans are fully vaccinated. It's not likely that we'll ever reach 100%. But what percentage do we need in order to really move past this pandemic for once and all?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. And the only way you know it is when you get there and the level of infection goes down to almost being negligible. For different diseases that we have experience with, like measles, we know that when you're in the low to mid 90% of the population vaccinated, that is truly herd immunity. So you're not going to get any infections unless you get pockets of groups in society, maybe some communities that have a low level of vaccination. You'll get an outbreak like we have seen intermittently over the years with measles. But that's only because we have really decades and decades of experience. Right now, we don't know what that critical number is. And it's complicated because even with vaccines, we know that over a period of several months, the protection wanes. That's what we know. And that's the reason why we're talking about boosters. So the idea of what percent is complicated by who's vaccinated versus who's vaccinated and boosted. Since we don't know the answer, the only thing we can do is to get as many people vaccinated as quickly as we possibly can and to get the vaccinated people boosted and not worry about what that magical number is. Just go for it. Get as many people as you possibly can vaccinated.
So should we just expect new variants in the coming months at this point?
Well, you know, the answer is we may not get a variant as problematic as Omicron, but as long as there are unvaccinated people, not only here in this country, but in the rest of the world, and you give the virus the opportunity to freely replicate and infect people, therefore it gives it the possibility of mutating. And if you get the right constellation of mutations, you may wind up with a new variant, which is a very good reason, as I have said so many times, why we do have the responsibility, not only the United States, but all of the other upper income and richer countries of the world, to provide the resources and the vaccines to lower and middle income countries to be able to address the outbreak in their countries. So as long as there's a lot of virus anywhere in the world, you still have the opportunity for that virus to get to be a new variant. So we really do have a responsibility, not only of vaccinating our own people, but contributing to the vaccination of those in the lower middle income countries, which the United States is doing better than any countries in the world put together. But still, we've got to do better on that.
Yeah, we got to do better for the world to get past this pandemic. Dr. Fauci, we do appreciate you for starting your day with us. And happy early birthday.
Yay.
I understand your birthday is on Christmas Eve.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was a child, I didn't get many birthday presents.
We were just talking about that. You really missed out on a lot of gifts out there, but you have been the gift that continues to keep on giving for us, and we really appreciate you. Happy birthday. Enjoy your Christmas, and hopefully 2022 will be a much better year than the last 2 years have been for us when it's come to this pandemic.
All right. Thank you very much. Good to be with you both. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.